But when you're trying to be snobby and compare your wines to classic French wines, you're going to be called out on your bullshit. Welcome back to Rewind with bschwitty, because it's pronounced Oregon, not Oregon, East Coasters. Today, we're going to be talking about a wine region near and dear to my heart. It's Oregon's Willamette Valley. Well, Oregon, Willamette Valley. Let's talk about Oregon first. I grew up in Washington. I grew up in the suburbs of Seattle. My aunt and uncle had a beach house on the Oregon coast, out in Depot Bay, Lincoln City area. And my second wine tasting experience was out in the Dundee Hills of Willamette Valley, in the town of Dundee that we would pass through on our way to said cabin over my years growing up. And then I turned 21 and we got to go tasting there. That was pretty cool. Never did I realize until that point that there were wines grown there, and at that point in my life, I was still learning to enjoy wine, and I found some ones that I did like. Now, Oregon's known for Pinot, which is an easier red to kind of segue into drinking reds. But I figured we'll focus on the Willamette Valley today, on a regional focus here on Rewind. I'm drinking some Pinot Noir, the Evolution label from Sokol Blosser, 2015, from the Willamette Valley, which I thought fit. Now let's talk about the history of the Willamette Valley. It was discovered in the 1960s when David Lett started a vineyard and winery out in Dundee. He discovered that that area was prime for planting Pinot Noir, and thus Oregon's obsession with Pinot was born. Since the mid-70s, Oregon and Pinot Noir have been interlinked. And by the 1980s, they knew there was no flaw. Oregon was producing quality Pinot Noir. Some traits about the land. Late ripening varietals like Cabernet Sauvignon and Petit Verdot don't do well in the Willamette Valley because of early autumn rains. Initially, they also tried planting Chardonnay, but they used a clone that wasn't able to adapt to the area's climate. Now that clone has been replaced with Dijon clones of Chardonnay, and those Dijon clones result in a better grape and a better finished product. Now, if you go out tasting there, which I did, they'll tell you that, oh, we're on the same latitude line as Burgundy, France, where they grow all the great Pinot Noirs. And that's not true. Burgundy is actually on the 47th parallel. Is that the right term? Whereas the Willamette Valley is somewhere between, somewhere around 44 to 45 at its height. So that actually puts it in Bordeaux range, but just because of the dynamic weather and the way the sun hits the land, it creates a better region for Pinot to grow. 2 degrees off isn't much in the grand scheme of things, but when you're trying to be snobby and compare your wines to classic French wines, you're going to be called out on your bullshit. Traits in the wines. Pinot there mature earlier there than their European cousins, just due to the climate. You'll get softer, fruitier, and more lush Pinots. They're also very moody, vary wildly from producer to producer and sub-AVA to sub-AVA. Some sub-AVAs within the Willamette Valley include the Dundee Hills, which is my personal favorite. There you'll find heavy, red-tinged, loamy soil and good exposure to both rain and sunlight, which will really help the fruits ripen while still retaining some of that old world characteristics. Also notable is the Yam Hill district, or the Yam Hill Carlton district, where it's slightly warmer and also prone to more frost. So you get better concentrated fruit from that warmer climate, but also run the risk of having a frost that destroys your crop. Other sub-AVAs within the Willamette Valley include the McMinnville area, the Eola Amity Hills region, which is south of Salem, and the Chehalem Mountains. Now, this may sound a little disjointed, and it kind of is. This Willamette Valley is a huge AVA. Even breaking them down into those sub-AVAs, there's most likely places within those sub-AVAs that have more distinct characteristics than just what they're broken down into. Saying something is from the Willamette Valley is going to just run a wide gamut from just about Portland all the way down past Salem. Kind of one of those things where it needs to be refined, but I'm sure they're fighting it so that they all get the brand recognition of having Willamette Valley on their label. And like I said, one of my first times out tasting, I got to go onto the Dundee Hill, not even realizing how amazing everything was. But I did get to taste at some good places, and I think I spread it across a couple sub-AVAs because I know I have wine at home from Amity Hills. If you live in the Portland area, if you're having a weekend trip out from Seattle, I highly recommend going through the Dundee Hills just because they'll have some really stellar Pinot out there. I know one of the producers was on the top 100 Spectator wine lists in the last couple of years. It's worth checking out. Plus, it's a nice reprieve from the Washington wines. That being said, have you learned anything about the Willamette Valley or Oregon wines today? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any additional questions, please comment, share, like, and subscribe. Next week, we'll be focusing on Pinot on Monday for a varietal focus, kind of continuing the talk that we started here. If you're watching this at a later date, maybe I went back and added a card above me to check that out. If not, well, I tried. Thank you for watching. My name is Brandon. Please hit that subscribe button, smash it away. I would appreciate your follow. Trying to hit 100 followers before the end of the year. And it validates my doing this. So if you could help me out, I'd appreciate it. I love making these. I love trying to learn about areas that I may know a little bit about, but need to have a refresher on. This is just me rambling. Thank you for watching Rewind with bschwitty. My name is bschwitty, and I will catch you next time.